I was looking at a Reddit thread, and it was called Scott Galloway Needs to Stop Talking About Men and Boys, because I wanted to see, some of the holes people were poking into
Sure.
your arguments. And someone wrote, I'm a therapist and I see a ton of young adult men and boys. Let me tell you, I can spot a Galloway watcher within about 5 minutes. Galloway, to his credit, packages his brand of bullshit on improving men and not demeaning women, but he does so through the same tired and harmful ways of internalizing shame to be weaponized as a motivator to compete in the mating market. You'll never be enough until you win capitalism and then have a family and then provide for that family. And this worked for him, so he's happy to preach it. People who rush to achieve these benchmarkers in life often do so in haste. If I just get a girlfriend, any decent girlfriend, then I'll have a wife and be happy. Now you've got a man who derives his value from his partner, and suddenly jealousy, anger, and resentment start to creep in when that relationship goes through natural ebbs and flows. Same thing with placing all of your value on your career. Lose your job, and now who are you? You're in my office trying to rebuild a sense of self from the ground up is who you probably are. I just thought that was a very interesting comment, and it just made me wonder, are you focusing too much on this money because of perhaps your own hangups with financial wealth?
I think that's a really thoughtful comment, what she wrote, and I'll take it to heart. I think there's a kernel of truth in it because when it hits me hard, and I don't like it, which probably means there's some truth in it. The retort would be, will me finding self-worth pay for my health insurance for me and my kids? And I'm not suggesting you need to be a baller and make millions of dollars. I'm suggesting in a capitalist society where in America we believe in winners and losers and the safety net is near the ground, that you need to be economically viable. And that might be a decision. Look, unfortunately, I've lived to work for a long time, such that I could get to economic security because I didn't think I have trauma around it. That's my way. I acknowledge it may not be the right way. I think there are a lot of people who decide they want to work to live. They move to a lower cost neighborhood. They have decent jobs. They don't need a Range Rover. They don't need to go to San Tropez. They want a decent house. They want to coach Little League. They want to go to church. More power to them. What I'm suggesting is that people have an honest conversation around their expectations economically and the sacrifice required to get there. When I survey my kids, when I say my kids, my students, about 80+% of them expect to be in the top 1% economically. Some of this is proximity bias. So those comments resonate with me because you go to your own playbook around what's worked and you think that works for everybody else. I acknowledge some of my insecurities have been channeled too much into thinking money's going to solve my problems. But what I would also suggest is that young people need to have an honest, sober conversation around the life they expect to have